Is jy reg hiervoor?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the Rieg and Eidie show. Day 48 of SA's lockdown.
Yeah, can you believe it?
No, I don't think anyone can believe it. But yes, we are here now. It is our situation and we might as well make the most of it.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Rieg and Eidie show, lockdown show. No, it's a photography show. It's not a lockdown show. We're just hosting it whilst in lockdown.
Yeah. Wasn't I supposed to do the intro?
We never discussed it.
Well, welcome to everyone. I think this is something that we've wanted to do for a very, very long time, and yeah. But I think between all the filming and shooting and then editing and post-processing and book designs, I don't want to say we didn't have time for it, but we never got around to it.
We never had time for it.
So right now we have some time and we thought, let's do this. Let's introduce ourselves to our clients. I think there's a lot of our clients who are planning to get married this year, whose marriages or weddings have been moved to next year or even later this year, and whom we haven't even met yet. So this is a great chance for us to introduce ourselves so you can see who we are. Obviously, Rieg and Eidie.
Yeah, I'm Eidie.
And I'm Rieg. And yeah, so our idea is to bring a little bit of a regular show where we talk about the wedding industry and not really from our perspective. We're fortunate that we have a lot of experience. I think if I recall correctly, we had very nice notes here, but we shot our first wedding in 2005, in April 2005. So maybe Eidie can tell us how we got about to do that.
Well, it was a childhood friend. We weren't full-time photographers or actually even, can we say, professional photographers at that stage. But a school-time old friend of mine, Janine, asked us to capture the wedding, and we at that stage had one camera. It was the Fujifilm.
Yeah, Fujifilm, I think it was an S5000. Full 3.1 megapixels, if I remember correctly.
Okay, he's
like
the one with the technical brain. We had a camera. His dad had a camera, yes. Same camera, so we could photograph the wedding with two similar cameras, and that's how we went about. And we soon realized that we need some training.
Yeah, I think
we need to better ourselves.
I think we realized we love doing that. We love photographing weddings. I think it's something that we very quickly realized. And for those who don't know, we in lockdown was our 20th wedding anniversary. So
20,
yeah. So we're very happily married. Obviously love one another quite a lot. And it's great for us. And I think that's something we realized very quickly, that it's actually great that if you believe in love and if you have love yourself in your life, that you can share and capture that for other people. And I think that's what maybe made us get into this career.
Yeah, totally. I agree with him totally. And I think also that is why for any couple that books a wedding photographer, it works so well to have a dynamic duo that can capture the entire day out of a love, not only just a professional photography point of view, but out of a love perspective.
Yeah.
We know what it's about, and for us it's always about that. We never try to make a wedding about us. It's always about the client, and it's always about how they're feeling at that stage and for the day, and to make it as easy as
capturing and preserving it for them. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we can maybe rewind a little bit more before 2005, how we actually, or where our photography interests come from. I, as long as I can remember, had a love for photography. I remember my dad would come home whilst I was in high school, and he would have a new camera, and at one stage he came home with a new video camera. Now in the late 80s, that was quite awesome to have a video camera. But little did he know, every time that he got home with a new piece of equipment, that was the last time it was his, then soon became mine. And yeah, I would photograph everything that I could. never imagining that one day I would be doing this as a full-time career. If I remember correctly, and I think it was in 1993, I actually filmed my first wedding. And I came across the camera the other day and had a look at the footage. And I was a little bit shocked that at that stage I had no concept of white balance. So the whole
No, obviously
the whole
not.
film is orange.
I think even our clients won't necessarily know about white balance.
So,
Can
yeah.
you remember who the clients was? Was it friends of yours?
Friends of mine. One of my friend's brother, his wedding. So, yeah.
Okay,
So I'll maybe go dig it up one day and put it on the computer. So
No, don't do it. Please don't do it.
Maybe you can share.
We've got more than enough to watch. Yeah, I got my first camera. I think I was in grade 6 from my brother, and yes, I love taking photos. So there's a lot of people that do love taking photos. I never took a photo normally. I went and lie on my back and took photos of the clouds. And anyone who knows me knows that I still, up to today, love clouds. And my mom always said, you don't take photographs like that, and you cannot go into a career as a photographer. And we were just not brought up like that to go into a creative career. So I ended up going to the army,
Yeah.
which I loved. Loved doing and love leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this brings us here, and when I was expecting our firstborn, who's now turning 16 in a month.
Less than a month. He constantly tells us it's only a few
23 days or whatever. I went to classes at National College of Photography. We were living in Pretoria at that stage, in Gauteng. And yes, our passion just grew. We both went to the National College of Photography for the evening classes.
Yeah, we did night classes.
And tried to better ourselves. And was it in 2008 that we made the move?
So if I remember correctly, we did that wedding in 2005. We obviously realized we need some more equipment and we need some more training. In no particular order, but I mean, I think both of those are very important. And over that next few years, up to early 2008, I think we photographed about 6 or 7 weddings, if I recall correctly. That gave us a little bit of a good base to work from. And then I actually got an accounting degree, can you believe it? We decided at the end of 2008 that we're going to make a big change. And we wanted to escape the rat race, call it that. We stayed in Pretoria and we moved down to Jeffreys Bay, lock, stock and barrel. And I think end of this year we'll be here for 12 years. And we came down here and started a photography business from scratch. And full-time, yeah.
Both of us.
There was nothing else that we could fall back on. So
with 2 kids.
With 2 kids, yeah.
2 and 4 years old.
2 and 4, yeah. That was interesting times. And no parents or grandparents or anyone that could help us babysit, etc. It was interesting, and I think the first few years were a challenge.
Yeah.
But here we are 12 years later, during lockdown, which is a new, different challenge. But we love what we do, and I think that was kind of what we want to convey. We want to convey our love for the industry. I think the current situation is quite challenging for most people. I can only imagine some of the brides and grooms who've been planning their weddings for years suddenly have to put all of that in hold, and no one really knows, because a lot of people have moved their weddings to later this year, which we all hope will be fine.
Yes.
A lot of people actually just moved their weddings out with a full year, and I mean, that's a long time. I don't think we would have lasted if we had to move our wedding for a year.
Well, we've been lasting for 20 years, but we got married within the first 8 months.
Yeah, knowing one another. So that, I think that's our idea, is to share with everyone on a regular basis, obviously some tips and advice from our side. On our next show, we will have a guest speaker, and we will hopefully be able to get in contact with them via Zoom and record a little bit of an interview, some tips from them. And we will be in every show bringing in an expert who we deem to be an expert in the industry, people we've been working with for years.
Yes, and not just one person per industry.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of suppliers that we work with that is excellent, and we would love to share their knowledge to help you actually make your digest better. There are so many tips that we can give. Each person in the industry have so much
knowledge that they can share.
Yes, we just want to. We also are in lockdown. We also want to stay current and present and keep our heads in the game of photography. We don't want to go and try something else. I mean, everyone is trying in everything else now. Respect to that, and we hope everything is successful that you try out. But I mean, we specialize in photography and videography, and we want to keep it that way. So this is why we're doing it.
Yeah.
So in the next couple of weeks or days or the shows, we will host different speakers, people in the industry like venue owners, makeup artists, hairstylists, jewelry designers, dress and suit designers, artists, entertainers, DJs, sound engineers, wedding coordinators, everyone that is integrally part of your wedding day that can help you better your day and just make everything a little bit more streamlined.
I think that's one thing that we've always said is, as you've been doing this for a while, and I mean, fortunately for us, we photograph hundreds of weddings, and every time you see something new, you learn something, you see what works and you see what don't work. And we've always said we want to find a way of sharing that knowledge in a way that we can get it to most brides or new brides and just clients in the industry. So we're going to start off today with a little bit of a tip of our own, and I think it's something a time tip, yeah. And I think it's very important that every bride and groom, especially when they start planning their timeline for the wedding, that they get in contact with their photographer and their videographer. Nowadays we've got these amazing apps that can show us exactly what time the sun sets in a specific area, and we can plan accordingly, and we always work back from sunset back towards what we estimate to be the best time for the ceremony to start. And I think from us personally as photographers, we never want to tell the bride and groom exactly what they want to do, but we do want to guide them. I think we've been in that unfortunate situation a few times too many, where you at the reception, the speeches are busy, and you look outside and you see this amazing sunset, and you think, what awesome pictures could we be creating right now? And there we are inside a room,
reception,
listening to speeches that can happen a half an hour later. So it's just a little bit of planning, and often people come from up in Gauteng to get married in Jeffreys Bay or wherever in the country. It doesn't need to be Jeffreys specifically, or from another country. And you have an idea of what time the sun sets, but you don't know exactly. So talk to the local experts, get their advice, and always plan your wedding backwards. So we look at sunset time, and we specifically look at the golden hour, and then we work back from that, keeping in mind that that's all based on the weather being perfect for the day. If it's overcast, or rainy or something like that, there's nothing we can do about it, but we always plan for the best and hope for the best.
Yes, and not expect the worst.
Exactly.
Plan for the best, hope for the best,
and expect the best. Expect the best as well. So, I think that's about it for today. This is our first time doing this. We're trying the setup. We're in our house. Nothing is perfect. We try to make it as good as possible.
The children are sent to the rooms.
Yeah, they're not allowed to.
The cat is not allowed to meow.
Yeah, and we hope the chairs aren't too squeaky. And I think just a last reminder from us: if you are planning to get married in especially 2021, again, small tip from our side. Speak to your wedding suppliers as soon as possible. I think with all of the postponements happening this year, 2021's dates are going to be under pressure, and we're seeing it already. If you want to get in contact with us, you're welcome to do so. All our details will be at the bottom of the video. Please subscribe to our channel with that notification button on, and then as soon as the next episode is available, you'll be notified. So anything else from you, Eidie?
Yes, good luck.
Yes,
good
and
vibes.
Stay safe.
Good vibes, stay safe, stay positive. It is a challenge for everyone. We can only try to stay positive and and keep the love going.
And remember, this shall pass as well.
Love and light.
Cheers. Ek dink ons het alles gecover.